Hey guys, GoHealth here. So, Set 17 came out, which means Granblue got good support. Pretty decent support, anyway. I would say best support since their last, but it's their only support since their last, so. Yeah. It is a Legion deck, kinda. But we'll talk about that later. Starter, Peter the Ghosty. In my opinion, the best starter for Granblue. I never really liked Night Kid, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for not liking Night Kid. But he's a -1. So, Peter, however, now that you can Legion, it doesn't matter what you mill. But especially, he's a break-even. That's the biggest thing about Peter, is that he's a break-even. And Granblue has, problems with, if it doesn't get what it needs in the drop zone, it doesn't plus. But if it gets what it needs, it can. But this deck, doesn't have any issues with that. So just playing the break even and him going back to Soul is worth playing. For triggers, it's pretty standard for Granblue. 4 Banshee, and then 12 crit. I'm not running Jimmy because I decided didn't want to resleeve. So, but Jimmy's obviously better than Ghoul, in my opinion. And 4 heal. So, I'll do grade 3s last. So let's go over grade 1s. I do check the 1, Deadly Nightmare. I'm thinking about switching him out for Samurai Spirit. This deck isn't as kind of West as I thought it would be. Kind of West heavy as I thought it would be. Yes, it is very kind of West heavy, but I've never been kind of busted out and have nothing to do. I usually run out of Soul, which means this card doesn't come back when I need it to. But he is good because, you obviously run Sea-Strong Banshee, and that doesn't do much on the field. And so you want it back, and plus you run a lot of 9Ks. And you run no 10Ks, so those 6Ks do kind of help hurt your numbers. So having the 7K that you can get back on the field is always good. After that, 2 Dancing Cutlass. Emptying Soul is huge, especially in Legion meta. And Dancing Cutlass has always been a good card at Granblue, obviously. He's still worth running, and yeah, he just does work. And then 3, Sea Strolling. Like I said, 6K, 1 less Soul Blast, so it allows you to, still keep your soul empty even if you have 1. It allows for that infinite loop with, where'd it go? With, Rough Cheese and her, just Soul Charge, draw a card, and then Soul Blast, draw a card. So it just keeps the pluses going, and obviously a good card all around, and very recyclable. Almost bread and butter for this deck is Brutal Shade. Now, I'll explain why he's very important later, but I'm sure you can figure out why he gets rid of Limit Break, which allows you this deck to function, actually. You need to not have Limit Break in order for this deck to function. So Brutal Shade, obviously, is your only answer for that. And 4 Perfects. No Quints in this deck because this deck usually, towards the end of the game, it's mostly all triggers, and you don't want to mill 5 triggers out of your deck late game, and it already has enough consistent milling that and hand size that 4 Perfects is fine. And plus, it's Gus Jin, and he's fucking badass. So that's why I like to keep him at 4. Grade 2s. This card was a huge boost for Granblue. Dragon Undead, Ghoul Dragon, mate for Witch Doctor, I think his name. Yeah, Witch Doctor, the Dead Sea Niggerbolt. When he's revived, on the turn he's revived, if he hits a Vanguard, you can retire one of their rear guards. So, he gets pressure, and he's very easy to revive. And yeah, he's all around good. So, I'm very glad Granblue got him. So you run him at 4 he's good, and he's your Vanguard's mate. I also do run 2 Ruin Shade. Now I debated running 3 Rune Shade, and no Pinot Blanc. Pinot Blanc is okay, but generally this deck, has so many pluses that you don't really need Pinot Blanc. Like you can, yes, it's a +1, but your field is going to be full anyway because for free, for Kind of West free, for no Kind of West, your field can be full. So Pinot Blanc is almost redundant. Now if I was running more Deadly Nightmare or Samurai Spirit, yes, I could see that. You can call this back and then sack it off and get a booster instead. But you almost always have attackers. So I almost debated getting rid of these two for 1 Rune Shade and another of this card, which I'm running 3 of. But the fact that it can be that potential plus, there's no downside to running this. So I figured why not? You don't really want to mill with Rune Shade late, but Rune Shade can fix your numbers. So it's really up to you. I also know that Rune Shade is very rare for you new Grand Blue players out there. It's rare and expensive. So, I picked up my playset a long time ago, and I definitely don't want to sell them. But, so, if you don't have Rune Shade, I would play Blanc at 3, Corrode Dragon at 4, and then obviously 4 Ghoul Dragon. If you do have Rune Shade, it's up to you if you want to run 3, 4, none, or whatnot, or run this setup if you really want to. I do think that Dragon Corrode is better than Rune Shade in this deck, just because late game you don't want it mill. So when you call this back, you can still swing for 12, and 11 and 12 are basically the same number in this deck. So just food for thought. So that's it for grade 2s. Grade 3s, obviously, I already showed you his mate. So, Witch Doctor of the Dead Sea, Negerbolt. Very good card. Way better than Pinot Blanc, in my opinion. The fact that he's only a rare is really cool, because it made me picking up all the support I need like $5, and I got a brand new deck. So, yeah, that was pretty exciting. If you don't know his skill, Legion with, Gold Dragon, wherever he went. I lost Gold Dragon. There he is. So Legion with Gold Dragon. While you're in Legion, you can Kind of West 1, choose one of your rear guards, retire it. Yeah, when it attacks and you're in Legion, revive something. So you can easily call back whatever you killed, call back something else like this, so its skill goes off, and you have the pressure of retire. Anything. You can keep recalling Siege Strolling Banshees, so you can keep drawing. For Kind of West 1, Soul Bless 1, you draw a card. It's free. So, and plus, he always swings for a good number. As long as you have another unit in the middle column, he gets +3k on attack. So, just being a Legion, he swings for 23. Any booster behind him, he swings for 28 minimum. So, good numbers all around. Sorry. Yeah, he is really good. Adds constant pressure. 4th attack, constant drawing, and amazing card. And now what you need the Limit Breaker for is, I know a lot of people run Night Mist, Break Red, but Cocytus Reverse. The problem with Cocytus Reverse pre-Brutal Shade was that you would have to mill late game, and you need your triggers late game, and you had no way to get him back to the deck. So, yes, he was a plus for a Lock 1, mill 3, you get a plus, and he had the potential cross ride, but that's not a point in this deck. So, now, with Brutal Shade, what you can do is on turn 3 when you ride, you start getting pluses. So, like, it's really insane. Like, you don't care what you mill, because you can just Legion back in the deck. So, you turn 3 ride, you call Brutal Shade. If you don't have another Brutal Shade in the drop zone, what you're going to want to do is call something else here, or anywhere, really. Lock it, mill 3, start getting pluses, start calling back Rough She's Banshee, start calling back Dancing Cutlass, just keep getting pluses. You get +1 to hand, +1 to field. So then, alright, so here, I'll try to go over this. So this is your field, on turn 3 ride, okay? Your opponent may still be at grade 2. This is what you want to do. So you mill 3, you hit that, you draw a card, you lock it, you do it again. You could call that. Draw a card, lock it. call something like that. Lock it. Next thing you know, you call that. This is now your field, alright? Remember, all you did was ride that turn and have a Brutal Shade in the back. You drew 2 cards, and then added 2 more cards to your field for literally no other cost. So, that's what, +5? No. +6 before Twin Drive? So, yeah, you're sitting in about 10 cards in hand, full field, a huge drop zone. And, yeah. So once you have your full field and you establish that, you know, you need to start doing stuff, you ride as many Necro Bolts as you can. And just start shuffling those triggers back into the deck. Next thing you know, you got almost no non-triggers in the deck, and you just start swinging 4 attacks at a turn. Potential double crit. Double triggers almost guaranteed. At least 1 trigger guaranteed for sure. And your opponent's got to deal with that. And you have 10 cards in hand. You gain constant advantage. You know, just because you already rid over once, so you replenish your soul in there. Counterblast 1, kill this. Soul Blast 1, draw a card. You keep that advantage going, and you just keep riding. You know, you just keep riding. This is at a minimum. If you don't need to send back mates, which I'm sure you will at some point, you're sending back 4 triggers at a turn, and you're sending back 3 minimum. So that's really good. And this deck's incredibly fun to play. It's very consistent. The only time that it doesn't work is if you don't ride Cocytus first or you don't hit Brutal Shade. As long as you hit Brutal Shade by like turn 4 or 5 before before late game, you're good. It also doesn't work if you mill all these. So if you start seeing a bunch of these, slow down. You don't need to keep milling. But you can also Legion these back if you have to. That way you try to draw into them and keep that going. You need to keep that advantage going. Yeah, I mean that's it. That's the whole point of this deck, is to have this turn 3, and then you just start locking and plussing, and as long as you do that, the deck works. And that's it. That's my deck profile. I hope you like it. Go ahead and leave criticism and all that. I have been watching other deck profiles because I didn't really know where to go. I did read an article on a build like this, so I figured I'd give it a shot, and it was awesome. I had great results, and I figured I'd share it with you guys. But I'll talk to you next time. Take care.